Hello, thanks for joining us for News Center Maine at noon. I'm Amanda Hill. We'll get things started with a look outside with Ryan Breton, and boy, is it a beautiful one out there, Ryan.
Sure is, and it's pretty warm too, Amanda, especially in southern Maine right now. We're up to 83 degrees in Portland, 84 in Wiscasset, mid-70s for Bar Harbor and Rockland. We're 80 in Augusta and in the 70s up north. We've had tons of sunshine all morning long, starting to pop up a few clouds far inland, and then you can see back here to the west some mid and high level clouds. Those are associated with this storm system that's right now moving through Pennsylvania. And while there is rain in Pennsylvania and parts of upstate New York, most if not all of that rain will travel to our south tonight. We may get a shower into York County, but we certainly will increase the clouds as the afternoon goes along. So sunniest half of the day, as we were talking about, was this morning, but you'll still have some sun for a little while this afternoon. And then by late afternoon, early evening, it turns mainly cloudy. Temperatures at 6 o'clock in the 70s in most spots, a little cooler up north. And you can see there may be a stray shower to the south during the night tonight, but if there is anything, it would just be overnight and primarily from Portland points southward. And by daybreak tomorrow, there may be a little cloud cover, but tomorrow looks like a decent day with a mainly sunny sky. Things change a little bit over the weekend, though. The weekend looking cloudier and damper. That's not to say it'll be a washout, but there are chances for rain both Saturday and Sunday. I'll be back with much more on that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Ryan, we'll see you in a bit. Thank you. Well, power is set to be restored soon to almost 1,000 customers in Oldtown. Oldtown Fire and Rescue says a driver crashed into a telephone pole near 6th Street earlier this morning. That impacted 3 other poles nearby, causing the power outage. The crash also shut down part of Center Street, also known as Route 2. Drivers are being asked to find an alternate route as crews continue to clear the area. The driver is recovering at the hospital. Law enforcement officials are investigating 2 deadly crashes involving motorcycles that happened within 8 hours of each other. The first happened yesterday morning in Auburn. Police say an SUV and a motorcycle were on Washington Street when the SUV changed lanes. They say the motorcycle could not stop fast enough and hit the back of the SUV. The person riding the motorcycle died at the scene. The driver of the SUV was not hurt. The second crash happened Tuesday night in Glenburn. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office says it got a crash alert from a phone near Phillips Road. Deputies found a man had crashed his motorcycle in the woods and was pronounced dead at the scene. The Sheriff's Office did not share any more details about what might have led to that crash. But motorcycle deaths have nearly doubled in Maine in the last year. And in Hancock County, there have been 3 deadly crashes involving motorcycles in just the last month. News Center Maine's Akua Deval spoke with families and first responders about the impact of those crashes.
And he made sure everybody just usually had a smile on their face if they were sad.
It's a call no one wants to get.
You don't actually think it's going to happen until it actually happens.
But for Felicia Ryan, this stretch of pavement is now tied to unimaginable loss. Her husband, Ricky, was killed in a crash involving his motorcycle and an SUV on Route 1 in Hancock this month.
We didn't want to believe that it was actually him. His kids, youngest kids, don't understand. So they're kind of just waiting for their dad to step through that door.
Ricky was 29 years old, a father of 3.
Rather large.
With a 4th child on the way. Just 2 weeks earlier, another Hancock County motorcyclist was killed.
My whole world is upside down now.
32-year-old Tyler Gray of Franklin, also leaving behind his wife and children.
I just broke down. When I stayed there, I didn't know what to do. I had to contact his family. It's still even hard to this day to wrap my head around it. It's very unbelievable.
For the Hancock Volunteer Fire Department, Chief Chris Holmes says these calls have hit close to home.
It can be difficult because it's a small town, and a lot of times you might know the person.
These losses come as motorcycle deaths are rising across Maine. At this time last year, 14 people had died in motorcycle crashes statewide. So far this year, that number has risen to 27.
And all of them be the result of motorcycle crashes, just highly unusual. We just don't see that.
Officials say there isn't one factor behind the uptick, but they're urging both motorists and riders to stay alert and aware of their surroundings to help prevent the next crash.
When you have a high concentration of vehicles and elevated speed limits, the crashes are certainly more significant. So just please pay attention and obey the speed limit.
The families impacted by these crashes say they are forever grateful for the outpouring of support they've received from friends and strangers alike. And a reminder to all drivers, when changing or entering a lane, look twice, save a life. You may not see a motorcycle the first time. State police are now investigating after 2 people were found dead in a home in Rumford. Police say they found the bodies of a man and a woman inside a home on Franklin Street yesterday morning while conducting a welfare check. Officials say there is no danger to the public right now. We will continue to bring you updates on this story as we learn more. State lawmakers are calling for an investigation now into the death of a young boy from Bangor. 10-year-old Braxton Smith died in February of 2024 from blunt force injuries and battered child syndrome. His father pleaded guilty to murder. His mother and grandmother both pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Now, lawmakers are ordering the state's Office of Program Evaluation and Government Accountability to look into what led up to Braxton's death. They want to know if the state had any knowledge that the boy was in danger. One of 5 people charged in the death of a man from Corinth will spend 35 years in prison. Dylan Caruso was found dead in Exeter in October of 2024. Kenneth Creamer pleaded guilty yesterday to Caruso's murder as part of a plea agreement with the Attorney General's office. He was also sentenced to 4 years for drug trafficking charges. Dylan Boyce and Holden Melvin were also charged with murder in Caruso's death. 2 others were charged with trying to help cover up the crime. A man who works for Portland Public Schools has been detained by ICE. The school district and ICE officials say Simão Paulo is from Angola. ICE's website shows he's being held in upstate New York. ICE says Paulo was arrested after he tried to enter Canada illegally, they say. They also say he was arrested back in 2022 for illegally crossing the border in Texas and was later released. Portland schools say they will do all they can to support Paulo and his family, adding that his detention by immigration enforcement has done nothing to make their community safer and actually makes it harder for the district to ensure transportation is available for their students.